IRS Form 1040 SS, Part 2, Bona fide residents of Puerto Rico claiming the additional child tax credit. So before we get into the meat of this part 2, a couple of things that we need to go over. So first of all, if you recall, Form 1040 SS is for people that would not be required to file a Form 1040, Form 1040 SR, or a Form 1040 NR, either as a U.S. resident or a non-resident filing a tax return, who are bona fide residents of a U.S. territory or commonwealth, such as the U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam, American Samoa, the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, or Puerto Rico. So with that said, part 1 we went over in a separate video, total tax and credits, how you calculate your tax liability and refund. In part 2, we're going to go over the additional child tax credit, which pertains primarily to bona fide residents of Puerto Rico. So a couple of things about this. First, what is a bona fide resident of Puerto Rico? Well, generally, the IRS considers someone to be a bona fide resident of Puerto Rico if they met the presence test for the year, if they did not have a tax home outside of Puerto Rico, and if they did not have a closer connection to the United States or to a foreign country than you have to Puerto Rico. So basically, if you live in Puerto Rico, if you don't have a house anywhere outside that you would claim residency of, and as long as you're not closer to the United States or another country, then you're considered a bona fide resident of Puerto Rico. So now, what's the additional child tax credit? Well, for most Form 1040 filers, the additional child tax credit is exactly what it sounds like, a tax credit on top of the child tax credit that would be claimed by filing Schedule 8812. So if you're completing Form 1040 SS and you're completing Part 2, you don't need to complete Schedule 8812. You can enter everything here that you would need to calculate your additional child tax credit. So once we walk through Part 2, we're going to come up with the figure. We'll show you where that figure would go in Part 1, which is your tax return. The third criteria that we need to go over is, what is a qualifying child? So, qualifying children, you have to meet certain criteria in order to be able to claim the additional child tax credit. So first of all, that child has to have a social security number. That's first and foremost. And then they have to meet the criteria in which they're your qualifying child. So they have to be under the age of 17 at the end of the year. They have to be younger than you or your spouse. They cannot have provided over 50% of their own support for the year. They have to have lived with you for more than half of the year, or meet a residency test, which you can find in IRS Publication 501. They cannot be filing a joint tax return, or if they do file a joint tax return, it would only be so that they can claim a refund of withheld taxes or estimated tax payments. They have to be a U.S. citizen, a U.S. national, or a U.S. resident alien. So now, one other consideration about the additional child tax credit: if you've previously erroneously claimed the tax credit for any reason other than a math error or a clerical error, and the IRS has later determined that your error was actually due to reckless or intentional disregard of the tax rules, they can disallow you for claiming the credit for up to 2 years. And if they later determine that fraud was involved, that disallow period becomes 10 years. And this is even if you would qualify under the regular IRS rules at a later point. So let's say it's 2023, you just figured that you needed some extra money and you completely just disregarded the tax rules. You came up with a additional child tax credit, and then the IRS says, not only are we going to disallow this, we're going to put you on notice for 2 years. That would mean that 2024 and 2025, you would be ineligible even if you actually qualified in one of those later years. And then at the end of that, you have to request a reinstatement by filing IRS Form 8822 or 8862. We'll put links in the show notes to resources we've created about that form. It's titled "The Information to Claim Certain Credits After a Disallowance." So, let's actually start getting into the meat of this form. So obviously in question 1, we're going to select yes, because if you select no, then you're not going to be able to claim any credit and the form stops there. Let's say that we have 2 qualifying children. We're going to multiply that number 2 by $1,700, and we're going to put that figure here. Now we're going to enter our modified adjusted gross income. So that's the adjusted gross income. That includes wages, interest income, dividends, unemployment compensation, alimony received for marriages that were where the divorce decree was awarded on or before December 31st, 2018. After 2018, in tax year 2019 and 20, alimony became a non-taxable income item. So people that pay alimony for those divorces after 2019 or in 2019 and later, they cannot deduct it on their tax return, and the recipient of alimony would not report that as income. You would also include any profit or loss from Schedule C or from Schedule F, and you would also include taxable Social Security benefits. So we'll put resources in the show notes on the various calculations, the Schedule C, Schedule F, how to determine taxable Social Security benefits. So we're going to use $150,000 as our base figure for modified adjusted gross income. So in line 4, we're going to enter, let's just say that this is for John and Jane Doe. We're going to put $400,000 as their baseline here. And then we're going to answer this question. Is the line 3 amount more than line 4? If no, we're going to check this. We would leave line 5 blank. We'll take this amount all the way down to line 11, and then we can proceed from there. All right. Let's just say that this was actually $450 instead of $150. Let's go back and see what this looks like. So that would be yes here. We would enter the difference, so $50,000. And if it's not a nice even multiple of $1,000, you would round it up. So if you had something ending in 425, you would round that up to the next 1,000. $1,025 would go up to 2,000, so on and so forth. We're going to take this figure, multiply it by 5%. And then we're going to take the number of qualifying children from line 2. We're going to multiply that amount by $2,000. So we've got $4,000 here. Any other dependents, this could be children who are 17 and older. This could be, grandma and grandpa, or, older people that are living with you. Whatever the qualifying dependent is, they are not a qualifying child. They still may be eligible for a credit for other dependents, the other dependent care credit, or ODC. So that doesn't pertain here, but let's just say that it did. Let's just say we're taking care of grandma and grandpa, so that would be an extra $1,000. We're going to add line 7 and 8 together, and we get $5,000. So now, is the amount on line 9 more than the amount on line 6? We would enter yes in this case, and we would subtract the difference. So that's $2,500. And that figure would go in here because it is smaller than the $3,400. So we would actually enter the $2,500 here. So that's how the steps, 4 through 11 calculation work if we needed to. We're going to go back and reset all of this to what we originally started with, as if these limitations did not apply. So now in line 12A, 12B, and 12C, we're going to take half of the additional taxes from Part 1, line 3. So I'm going to use completely different numbers from the video that we produced on this. It's not going to match up exactly. So when you do watch Part 1 and Part 2, just understand that this is a completely separate calculation. I recorded Part 1 first because that's for most taxpayers. So we're going to do this completely separately for people that are claiming, Puerto Rico residents that are claiming this additional child tax credit. So let's just say that 1/2 of the self-employment tax is an even $1,000. And then let's say that 1/2 of the additional Medicare tax on self-employment income is also $1,000. That would not be correct, but we'll just say that that's the case. We're going to add those two up and we get $2,000. So now we're going to enter any amounts of withheld Social Security, Medicare, additional Medicare taxes from your either Puerto Rico Form 499R2 or the W-2 PR. You would attach those to your tax return. Let's just say we're going to make it simple for the math part of this. We're going to make everything $1,000. So enter the amount that you reported in Part 1, line 6 of employee Social Security and Medicare tax on tips that you did not report to an employer. That would be $1,000. Enter any amount of uncollected employee and Social Security and Medicare taxes on wages from IRS Form 8919. And then in 13D, we're going to enter any uncollected employee Social Security tax and Medicare tax on tips and group life insurance. And then in line 13E, we're going to enter any additional Medicare tax on Medicare wages from IRS Form 8959, line 7. So that's different from line 12B because this is based on self-employment income. This would be on wages from an employer. So we're going to add lines 13A through 13E. We get $5,000. Add lines 12C and 12F, and that we get $7,000. And then if there were any additional Medicare tax withheld on line 22 of line 8959, we would enter that here. I'm going to pull that up real quick. Just so that we can talk about what line 22 is. Line 22 happens to be the additional Medicare tax withholding on Medicare wages. The difference between that and line 7 is that this is the calculated amount based on Part 1 of Form 8959. This is the amount that was actually withheld. So if we calculated $1,000, but for some reason there was $2,000 withheld, we need to account for that, and we bring that down to $5,000. Now, Part 1, line 9, if there's any amount there, and that is going to be Part 1, line 9. So that would be the excess Social Security tax withheld. This mostly happens with 2 or more employers. If you earn enough from both employers to where your combined income exceeds what's called the Social Security wage base, then there's a chance that between the two, they've over withheld your Social Security. You can claim that on your tax return. Basically, it counts as a tax payment or a credit. It reduces your tax bill. So let's just say we had $1,000 here. All right. So if we go through all of this and we determine that line 16, what's left of this, is not more than line 17, then you can't claim the credit. However, we can claim the credit, and we're going to subtract that amount. that $4,000 is our outstanding tax amount that we still owe. And then we're going to determine how much of this additional child tax credit we can claim, because if this is less than line 11, then we would not be able to claim the entire line 11 amount. We would be subject to the lower amount of this fourth. If this was $3,000, we would only be able to take $3,000 of this. But because that's still $4,000, we're able to claim the full $3,400 tax credit that we're entitled to. We're going to take this and we're going to enter that into line 10 of part 1. So, okay. And so we left the rest of this blank. If you want to learn more about that, you can watch the part 1 video where we break this down. But this $3,400, that's the additional child tax credit that reduces the amount of tax payments that you would owe, or it may generate a refund if you end up having paid more than your tax liability. So that's how you complete part 2 of IRS Form 1040 SS. Again, it only applies to bona fide residents of Puerto Rico who are claiming the additional child tax credit for a qualifying child. So we'll put links in the show notes to the article where you can read both parts 1 and 2. We'll also put links in the show notes to resources we've created about the forms, schedules, and topics mentioned here. So if you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. And if you like our YouTube videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, or if there's another topic that you'd like to see in an upcoming video, please hit me up in the comments section. Thank you very much and have a great day.